everybody, and welcome to our live stream. Hope you're having a wonderful evening or morning or day, depending on where you're watching us from. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Yes. So fast to get our ingredients done and set. So we can continue to the rest of the pot. But first you have to make sure you have all your ingredients ready. If it's tomatoes that needs chopping, you should do it. If it's onions, I always just do this to make my life easier. So yeah. Yeah, so if you're new to this channel, I'm always doing live stream cooking in the evening, and I do live stream fitness at the gym every single day. I do live dance sessions on Saturdays, which is the day that I rest from the gym. So if any of those three is something that would interest you, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're enjoying what we're doing, please don't forget to leave us a comment, tell us what you think about our live stream. Oh my God. So with that done, I need to chop some tomatoes, and I need to get this back, and I just realized that I need another tomato because I'm trying two things, so I'm gonna get one more. Oh God. No, right? if you're someone who's constantly wondering, like, what am I gonna cook today? What will I cook tomorrow? What am I gonna make for my family? You know, basically you're trying to have new extra ideas on dinner ideas. This is a great place to find that. So if you have had time to walk around our channel, you will see that we're always making this, well, I don't want to call them unique, but I'm sure there's something you've never really thought of or come across, so you should give them a try. Maybe try and see if it's something you'd enjoy. And then for today, you might come up with a new thing again tomorrow, so just someone trying to help. Yep, that's me. So I like to grate my tomatoes because it makes them easier to actually cook, and it doesn't leave any strings from the stew. So this is a skin. I just grate it all the way to the skin, and the skin that is left, I just dump it. If it's if the skin manages to like crush into the mix, then it's fine. But if it doesn't, I just throw it out. I've realized that it becomes very easy to blend in the stew and anything that I'm cooking. So if this is something that you'd like to try, that is how I do it. Okay, I just grate it. Just be careful not to cut your fingers yourself. Okay, so let's keep moving. So don't forget to leave us a comment. Tell us where you're watching from. Basically, just keep us engaged. We would like to hear from you. Okay, we would like to know how your day has been, how you're doing. What have you been up to lately? It is summer, I know, but what have you been up to? Okay, so I'm going to need 2 separate plates for tomatoes because I'm going to be doing 2 tomatoes for 2 separate things. And for that, I'm going to be blending them separately because I don't want them to mix up actually. I like to cut my ingredients ready so that when I actually start, I'm not fighting with anything, I'm just adding stuff. Makes work very easy. If you try it, you'll see. I know you probably have tried it. Yeah, if you're not new to cooking, you probably have tried it. So this is my next tomato, which is supposed to be for another separate dish. So first I just cut it into half like that because it's easier to blend on the soft part, and then I just take off the bottom stark part. Yeah, just a tiny bit of it. Don't cut too much tomato and waste. Okay, so these are the cutouts. They're very tiny, and you just want to dump that and jump into the blending. Okay. So like I said, if the skin blends into the mix, don't fight it, just let it go. But if it doesn't, if you're left with a great portion to throw away, then just throw it away. Because sometimes it does mix. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it makes a stream in the meal. If you blend tomatoes, if you have anybody, a member of your family who's like, I don't like tomatoes, I don't like when they're chunky in my meal, try blending. They'll actually eat it up, like all of it. Yeah. So once you either blend it or grate it, whichever one you choose, I find grating easier. Yeah. So it's way easier. Okay. So that's done. Now we go to the next thing. Okay. One thing about me is every time I use something, when I move into the next role or duty, I have to clean it up while I move, which is a great way of finishing your work before you're actually done. So once you're done with something, just wash it and put it away because you're not going to need it anymore. And there's no reason to actually put them in the sink and then just piling up on you, making your work hard when you're done. So just wash it, put it away. Okay, so next mission. Looks like a lot. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So I need some salt. That is salt. So today I'm not going to be using cinnamon. I'm going to be using something very, very different. Give me a minute. Okay, so today we're going to be adding this baby over here, and it is something that I used to enjoy doing, and I just switch up the recipe sometimes to cinnamon. Oh yeah. I know you guys don't know what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make chapatis with carrots. Okay, sometimes you can put carrots, sometimes you can put cinnamon. I don't think you should put both. If you want to, you can put both cinnamon and carrots. So yeah, that's the thing. Where is my peeler? Oh my lord. That thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna chop the skin off. Actually, I'm gonna peel it. I just chopped the bottom, so I'm just gonna peel the skin. Yeah, you need it to be super clean. I first washed it, now you're peeling it. Make sure you're not leaving any part of the skin anywhere. Okay. So this is just a fun way of making it, but it's also very, very tasty. I know people who add pumpkin, yeah, becomes even heavier. So also becomes yellowish. Yes, if you add pumpkin to the flour, it becomes yellowish, but I'm not really a fan of the one with the pumpkin because I don't know, it's just never rubbed me the right way. Never been a fan. Carrots, however, Okay, so now I've rinsed it and all the skin that was honey from the peeling is gone. So this is the part I usually use for tomatoes and everything else, but I'm going to use the small version of that, which is on the side, that looks exactly like this but tiny. So it's the size that you need in your carrot because it's now chewable. Okay, like it doesn't make too much noise, let me call it that. You don't have to break it all if you don't want to, but I picked the tiniest carrot that I had, and it won't hurt. Okay? It won't hurt one bit. So now, we also need to be fast because time is of the essence. Okay, the next thing, I already added salt. The next thing you're going to add is some oil. Also, carrot has this sugary taste to it, which is a great way of adding sugar naturally because I am completely out of sugar today. And I would have loved to add it, but I'm out of it. So carrot is going to play that role for me. I just need to blend that real fast and see if it's tasty. If the salt really did the thing. Okay, the carrot did its thing. The water should look something like that. Okay, now the next thing you need to do is add your flour and start mixing. If you like, you can add some cinnamon to this, but I'm trying to maintain a certain taste at the same time. I've always done for cinnamon, so today I'm going to do it for carrots, and I need it to stay that way. I don't want to confuse the tongue too much. What? stay in that level. So now, fast forward, turn this around. You actually need to use this spoon, wooden spoon, because you don't want to get messy hands, okay? Not the player, just dirty, messed up hands, okay? So if you use the Wiko, it's easier because you get to mix it up faster. I should have used my metallic bowl, but it's fine. I've already used this, so it's fine. There's no difference anyway. Okay. Today we're making carrot chapatis. Carrot chapatis has a nice way to it, has a nice name to it. So we are making carrot chapatis with some beans and some chicken. On this side of the world, people are big on their proteins, so everything you do. You see how in Africa we have to have everything with our veg? Here, protein has to go with everything. The meaty part of the world has to go with anything. They're almost having tea with meat. Yes, okay. Steaks with breakfast, I don't know, maybe it's, anyways. So every time I cook something, you've noticed that I have to make some meat next to it, okay? It's just how people are on this side. Okay, so you're gonna constantly be adding flour until the consistency is enough for you to actually hold it without it sticking in your hands. Okay, that's the point. But you can't add the flour all at once, because when you do that, then it becomes too hard. Because if you put too much flour, you can't control it. You have to add some water again and keep mixing again, and then you end up with a bigger portion than what you had planned initially. So yes, that's why you gradually need to add flour step by step while mixing. Okay. So remember, these are salt, oil, and carrots. Yes, mixing flour in it. It's wheat flour, just in case you're wondering. Wheat flour, that's what we use for chapatis. And mandazis. Mandazis are basically, I would call it like a cake, except you don't bake it, you deep fry it. Okay? And they're tasty too. Yeah. So we are close to that consistency that we're looking for, but we are very, very close. So you have to be careful when you're adding like your final mix of flour, because one step and you're gone. So my beans are almost done, and I need to pour out that water and add some fresh ones, because otherwise that's the gassy water that it has cooked in, and we don't need that. We don't need the gas. We want the beans minus the gas. Okay, so now I feel like it's consistent enough that you can actually hold it in your hands. So I'm just gonna scratch from this wooden Wiko, and you can now mix it with your hands. As long as it has reached the consistency, you can test that, and then you can mix it with your hand. Yeah, it's actually fine. 1 minute I feel like it's fine, the next minute I feel like it's playing with me. And I don't want my hands to be busy with this, because if it gets all floury. I can't do anything else. I can't touch anything else. It's actually fine. You just need some mixing so that the flour that is sitting out can get inside and tighten the dough a little bit. Okay, so I know you remember me adding oil in the water. I'm going to add another oil for just rolling it to make it seem smooth. If I had a big working area, I would lay it down, pour some oil on it, then like start cutting them into rolls and then rolling them. But I don't have a big space, so I'm just gonna do the oil thing again here. This ensures that the oil is in every layer, and that makes them soft when they're actually done. Like it makes them tasty and desirable and just soft. Because if you're eating chapatis that have no layer of oil in them, like you see how puff pastry works for croissants? Yes, so chapati is basically like that, except chapati uses less oil than what they do for croissants and butter all the way through. So now that I've added the oil, it's starting to move away from the bottom part, and I'm just rolling it through and through. Like I need the oil to actually walk inside, mix together with the dough. Yes, that's all I need. And then our next step is separating it and making it into balls. Those balls are the ones you're going to roll and put on the pan to cook. So now that this is done, I'm just going to clean up a bit here because I have some flour over here that fell off. And then you can move on. While this is sitting, remember I also need to separate the water from the beans and add a new one to boil with it. So that's what we're doing next. We're just going to separate the one that does boiling, and we're going to add some fresh more water. So now they can boil in some fresh water that has no gas. Okay? We're moving our stuff because we need a better working area. The next thing is this guy. Yeah, it's not a part of it, sorry guys, it's found. Okay? What I always do next, because I don't have a bigger working area, I pour some oil on my plate and then I make the dough balls and then I place them here without having them attached to each other, because if I don't put oil, they're going to attach to each other. Okay? So let's just get on with it. So I use the wooden stick to scoop the size that I want, like that, and I just twist it in and out like I try to muddle it. Okay, and I'm just going to roll it in this oil so that when I bring another one, they don't stick. So let's big, like let's see. So I'm going for either 10 or less than 10. but anywhere between that number is fine. Chapatis are great for breakfast. You can actually have breakfast with them in place of bread. Yes, so don't be shy if they come out more than 10. They are actually a great way for you to have breakfast with. Okay, so we're taking one dough after the other. I have 3 so far. I don't know how far this is going to get me, but let's see. I'm rolling them in the oil on the plate just in case you're wondering. And each time I scoop a new one. This is the size. Not so big, not so small. So we have 5 so far. I think we're doing great. Rolling them in the oil so that when I sit them next to each other, they don't attach and change the shape. Okay? So this is the 7th one, and I feel like this is gonna give me 1 and a very tiny one extra, which I need to pinch the rest to reduce the sizes so I can get an extra size. Okay. We have you can either decide you're gonna add the remaining piece to fill up the others instead of trying to pinch them to get more, so that they're all equal and not less. Okay. The addition of carrot has made them a bit brighter, so the taste is going to be fine as well. So we've ended up with 8 pieces, which is great because I was trying not to have more than 10 or maximum 10. This is good. This is good, guys. Okay, our next thing, put this in the sink. Try to create more space. So these are the sizes. You can see that? Yep. These are our sizes. our rolling pin. This is called a rolling pin. You know it. You make pizza with it, so it's not something new. It's the same thing we use for chapatis. So welcome to the club. So get a spare plate like this. Put it somewhere closest to you where you can actually access it, because that's where you're going to be placing your cooked chapatis. Get another spare plate like this with a bit of space for oil. This is where you're going to be scooping your oil from when you're adding to the chapatis that are already cooked. Okay, don't put too much, you don't need a lot of it. Remember, you baked your chapatis with oil. Get another spoon. Place this in the oil. So once your chapatis have turned brown on both sides, you need to place them back and pour some oil on both sides and turn as you go. Okay, and now, about a minute. Okay guys, now let's continue. Okay, so when you want to start rolling, you need to pour some flour. Put some flour on the rolling board. This is our rolling board, this is a rolling pin. Rolling board, rolling pin. So put some flour on the rolling board like that. Rub it all around. Make sure it's covering all the surface, because the dough will need to go round, just like you do with pizza. It's the same thing, just round, and then you place your dough. And I don't want to roll it before my pan heats up, because when I roll it before the pan heats up, it's going to start being too weak and it's going to be spreading, and like when I try to pull it up, it's going to be runny. So you need to actually do that when the pan is already heated and you are ready to like take it up and place it on the pan. Okay, so we're just going to give the pan a few minutes to actually do that, and then we can keep rolling. Okay, in the meantime, you can keep me company. Somebody said beautiful feet. How did you see those, sir? What kind of food you cooking? You cooked. Not yet cooked. This is gibo kawali. I'm making some beans, some chapatis, and some chicken. Yes, so Thank you for asking. There's a lot of people saying hi. Alexandra said hi. Madir said hi. Hi, shout out to you. Natasha Hegra sent some emoji with kisses. And is this the flag of, I don't know, somewhere in the Caribbean, I guess? I'm not sure. I can't see it properly. Lina Isa said hi. Hi Lina, shout out to you. Mariam Ngonyo said hi. Hi Mariam, shout out to you. So guys, remember, oh my god. Okay Mariam, I'm sorry, I deleted your message by mistake. My bad girl, I'm so sorry. Okay, Babaka said hi, shout out to you. Evelyn Evangel Pure said hi. Fatou said hello. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Roddy said hi. Hi Roddy, shout out to you. So I think our pan is ready now, and we're gonna start rolling it, okay? So let's roll. Remember the flour that you used on the bottom, on the rolling pin, on the rolling board? It's actually supposed to prevent this from sticking. So yes, that was the purpose. So that's why I was also saying, make sure it is covering the entire rolling board, so that when you're rolling, it doesn't stick. I once read somewhere that somebody was saying, oh, chapatis don't need to be in a circle shape. Who told you that? Chapatis actually need to be in a circle shape. Like, this person was basically trying to say the difference between chapatis and, what do we call them? Burrito wraps? Yes. And they were like, in case of burrito wraps, they have to be in circular shape, and chapatis doesn't matter. Have you seen a triangular chapati, sir? Like, when? Who showed you that? Who lied? You know, people actually judge your chapatis by how circular they get. Like, are they in equal measure? Are they, you know? Yeah, so don't let anybody lie to you that chapatis can be triangular or any other shape other than a circle. So that's a lie. People are actually gonna laugh while they eat your chapatis. Okay, plus if you've ever seen chapatis in a triangular shape, just know we cut them up like that for presentation. Okay, but usually they are circular. I don't know anybody who can actually roll a triangular shape. Okay, so while you do the second one, just watch out for the first one, because when it starts to show some bubbles on the bottom, it means those parts are getting heat and they're trying to actually turn brown. Okay, so the purpose is for it to turn brown. Then you can set it aside. This is the easiest way to make it. You set it aside. Okay, instead of doing one and adding oil there and then, just once it turns brown, set it aside. Make sure it's brown on both sides. Set it aside, get to another one. Then when they have piled up enough for you to actually make them, then you can start. So like, I'm done with this on both sides. It's also very soft, which is what we are looking for, okay? So while you're laying it on the pan, just be careful not to burn yourself. Ensure it's covering all the areas. That's why you need to actually kind of stretch it with your hands. Okay? There goes our third one. And within no time, we're going to be ready and done and moving forward to the next. once it turns brown on both sides, just set it aside and move on to the next one. This will ensure you're finishing your chapatis within no time. As you can see, we only have 4 to go because we're not waiting to add oil and turn it and wait for it to turn. We're going to do that once they have piled up enough to do it all at once. Also ensure that you're spinning the other one even while it's trying to roast on both sides. You're spinning it with your hands, yes, yes. And if you can't use your hands, just pick it up with a spoon and turn it to the other side. Don't mind me, I've been in the kitchen for too long and I've gotten used to the heat that comes from it. It doesn't really bother me or burn my hands, no. I'm very careful though, because sometimes I do get burnt. Okay, just make sure it's not burning. You're looking for brown color. Yes. Once it's on both sides, just move on to the next. It's as simple as that. Your chapatis are going to be done in no minutes. And then you have to be fast as well, because the heat waits for no one. Once it's ready, you have to take it out and the pan has to be emptied. And once the pan has nothing on it, it starts to overheat, and that means the second one that you're bringing next after that is going to roast too fast, way too fast. And you don't want that, so just be fast. Try to be fast. Don't be fast like you're messing things up, just try to pick up the pace. Okay? So this is showing me it's done on that side because it's showing the bubbles thing. Yes. And as you can see, my chapatis are really in circular shape. So whoever was saying chapatis don't need to be in circular shape was clearly lying, because I was only taught that they need to be in circular shape, and that's the shape I've been doing them in since I learned my way around the kitchen, okay? Okay, so now we have 2 to go. You can really see that I'm really picking up the pace and I'm going with the heat. Like once the pan is heated, it doesn't need you to play around. Okay, ensure your pan is well dusted with flour. Your rolling pan, that is. Once your rolling board is dusted with enough flour, not too much, because if you put too much while you're putting it on the pan, it's going to burn into some dusty flour, and it's not going to be nice on the texture. Yes, so these are moving really well, and I'm happy with the speed. Also, don't put too much pressure, like too heavy when you're rolling. Let it run smoothly, because if you put too much pressure, then some parts are going to be thinner than the other parts, and you don't want that. You don't want that, okay? Right. 1 to go. So our beans is done, just waiting to be fried. Then we make our final meal, then we serve. Usually people are scared of making chapatis because they're like, chapatis take too much time. No, they don't. As long as you're fast with it, they don't. Okay, so we have 1 to go, and we're doing amazing. You're doing a good job, Kylie. Okay, so remember, we just need the other part to turn brown. We don't need it to actually burn. We just need to turn slightly brown, enough to be lifted off, and then we move on to the next one, which is that. And just like that, this is our final dough. Out of 8, I think I cooked those under 5 minutes. I don't know the record, but I think I'm the highest. I'm the top scorer. Yes, when it comes to cooking chapati, I don't play around. So yeah, That's okay. Nice circular shape. That's it. Hands down. It's done. Go to the next one. They're light, they're soft. They will be delicious because they've been made by me. Of course, they're going to be delicious. So, you're done with the flour. Just roll it up. Put it away because you need space. Now it's that time where we start oiling them. See how soft they are? Like, they literally fold. That is how chapatis need to be. Soft and tangly. And still not like too clear to be seen on the other side. Okay? If you're somebody who enjoys cooking chapati like me, I think you will find this entertaining and very accurate. Okay, so for this, I'm not going to take it off. I'm just going to, I've turned the other side, so now I need to start doing the oil thing. Okay? So you're going to scoop some oil, a bit of it, not too much. And you're going to like basically base one side of it with oil. The same thing you do with when you're baking. Have you pat some oil on top of those doughs? It's the same thing you're doing with the chapati. Just running your oil on top of the other part that's just roasted. And then you're going to put the spoon underneath it and flip it. Yeah, once you flip it, this other side, you do the same thing as well. Just some oil, run it around. Ensure every part is covered actually. Don't forget that, very important. So you're just running oil all around it. You're trying to keep it soft. Be careful not to burn it. Okay, the other side. You have to flip both sides, remember that, because you want the oil to actually cook, not just run through it, okay? So the other side that you already added oil to, that side is fine, okay? So you just have to flip it. Right. Just waiting for it to turn a bit of brown, and then you're taking it off. And this is done. Just like that. We have our first one that is done. And put the second one. Some people actually take like 3 of them and put them together and just place some oil, turn it, but it's a lot of heavy work and the pan might actually slide off, which is not advisable. If you're cooking it on a jiko, which is a charcoal stove, then it's fine because it's usually heavy and doesn't slip off. Yeah, and also on a jiko you can't cook with this light pan. You can only use a heavy one, so yes. Okay. Ensure all the areas have been covered. No part is dry. Okay. All parts covered completely. Completely covered. Alright, our beans look very nice. I'm just going to cover them because now the water has reduced significantly like what we wanted. And I'm just going to turn it off because I don't need it to lose more. Okay? Brown. Done. Put it aside. Remember they were half cooked while I was rolling them because that's why I needed them to turn brown. Now they just need oil to go through. That's all they need. Just giving them an oil bath. lightly patting. Remember, you can use chapatis for breakfast, you can use them for lunch, you can use them with stew. Literally, they go with anything, any single thing you want. You can even use them like for sandwiches, okay? You can put some fried egg inside there, add some cheese, roll it up, voila. We even put some sausages in Kenya, so we have come so far with chapatis. Okay, that's good. So I'm out of oil on my pan. Okay, so let's move on very fast. Remember, you don't need to put too much oil because once you're done, you need to take the oil somewhere else. We have 4 more to go, and then we're done. When you put them in oil, you'll notice that they are swelling, creating some layers. Yes, that's the whole point. The oil has to cover every part of it, and then now they look actually different from this. The ones that were just pan paste and removed, they look very different from them because now while the oil is heating, it activates the body of the chapati, and it swells and sends heat into the layer. Actually, chapatis are preferred because they don't take too much oil, like they don't have too much oil in them. Yeah, so people prefer them, especially men, and they're also heavy for breakfast. So that's mostly what I can tell you about chapati. They are men's mostly favorite. I mean, the women love them too, but like the men love them in different measures. So usually we make them when we have lots and lots of guests, like if a group of people are coming to visit you, you want to cook them something that will be both fulfilling and tasty. You go for chapatis with stew, chapatis with chicken, veggies, anything. Okay, so this is us. We have 2 more to go, and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, you're doing a good job, Kylie. Remember, the dough had salt, carrots, oil. Did I say salt? I did. So yes. So sometimes, because I had run out of sugar, I always put a mixture of salt and sugar, which gives it a balanced sugary and salt taste. Yes, but since I added carrots, and carrots have that sugary taste, it's gonna be a great addition, okay? Just as long as my salt doesn't overpower the taste of sugar, it should be in a balance. That's what I aim for. Even when I put the sugar, I'm always aiming that they sit in a balance, okay? So, we're moving on to our second last one. Oopsie. There we go. Okay, while the other part is cooking, you just make sure you're spreading your oil on the opposite side. Like a painter, very carefully, like an artist. Just rub it all the way through. Ensure all the parts have been touched by oil, so that when it goes on heat on the other side, it's going to just go directly. Once the oil is heated, it will go directly into the system of the chapati. Okay? It actually looks very, very presentable. Like in Kenya, if you have an event and you haven't cooked chapati, people are like, why are we here? I know, they're not going to tell you that in your face, but they will judge you, for sure. They're going to judge you, for sure, a lot. If you don't cook them beef stews, chapatis and rice, some beans, why did you invite them? Why? Why did you have to tell them to come out of their houses and come see you? For what? For what? How dare you? I know Kenyans are probably listening to this and they're like, what? What did she say? But like, honestly, yes. A wedding, chapati. A funeral, chapati. What else do we have? What else do we have? Baby shower, chapati. Your husband has come to pay for your dowry, chapati. I'm just saying chapati has to be there, okay? Like, yo, why not? Okay, there was a time that people only used to cook chapatis during Christmas, oh yeah, and during any public holiday, chapati. Okay, so yeah. So there was a time where people used to cook only chapati in December on 25th because it was too expensive and parents couldn't afford the flour, blah 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 blah. Fast forward to now, kids don't have to wait until 25th of December to actually have chapati. Okay, but like, well, back then the economy wasn't as bad, but it still wasn't good, depending on the people at that time. But now the prices have literally tripled, and well, people have learned to live with it. So yeah, so now we are done because this is our last one. The next thing you need to do after you're done with your chapatis, you need to wrap them in a cling film or put them somewhere where they retain the moisture and they remain soft. I'm going to show you that in a minute, so don't flip on me. And I want to show you how lovely they look. I'm always going to show you how lovely they look because every time I cook them here, I show them to you, okay? Don't worry. Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Right. So this is our chapatis, aka chapos. We call them chapos. Like we even have a nickname. Can you imagine? That's how much we love them. Yeah, we're like aka chapos. Okay, so this is how they look like. Yes, they're tasty. Whether you believe me or not, if you've never tasted them, you're missing out. So now, this is what you need. Place it on top. This will ensure that they are really retaining their moisture within, and they are very, very moist by the time you're taking them out. Like they will be falling off. When you take a bite, they're going to say thank you, actually. Thank you and please. Please and thank you. Okay? I mean, your tongue is basically going to say that, but yeah. Also, you just have to be careful because sometimes you take a big bite and they're hot and they will burn you. They're not playing. They're not playing with you. Okay, so this moisture retained, that's how they stay while you're finishing whatever you're cooking last. and then you're good. Okay, so now we're done with chapatis. Let's move on to something else. Other fun things that we have in stock. Put everything back. Okay. Remember our beans that we're frying? Those ones, yes. Our pan is over here. Yep. You're just gonna wait for it to heat up. Put some oil. This is the most basic way of frying anything in Kenya, and I think in Africa at large. As long as you have your onions and tomatoes and oil, you're good. Like you have no reason to say, oh, I am missing some red bell peppers, I'm going to, no, you're good. This is the base, and it has this authentic taste to it. If you've never experienced it, well, you should try it. Okay, so I'm gonna fry the beans, turn them into the pot where they were cooking, and then use that pan for something different. We do that all the time. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce my chopping board. Drum roll, please. Drum rolls, please. Okay, sorry. Let's move on. Jokes aside, people actually need to eat in this house. I had no idea. So we have our chicken, one with bones because my husband doesn't like bones. Nice. He already has a strong jawline, so I guess there's no point, okay? And I'm not looking for a strong jawline, but I love my bones. I just do. I don't know. If you're gonna judge me, fine, but what is the point? What is the point of judging me? I'm being honest, okay? So, my chicken, I have one with bones and one without bones. So, what are we to do? To do or not to do is the question. Right. What we're doing is washing, okay? Once we wash, we're gonna cut it into some desirable pieces. My oil is not ready. It would have said something. Baby goose boneless chicken over here. We wash that too. And we are done. The next thing is chop chop. Wow, it is so silent, God. Lord have mercy. I'm not going to say we're buying time, but while it takes its sweet time to heat up, we are going to do other things because why wait? Okay, now I feel like it's lying to me, so I'm going to test it with some onions. Liar. He was lying. Okay, so the next culprit is this guy over here called the chicken. Okay, everything is back. I feel much better. So I'm not really looking for the onions to all turn brown, but as long as some of them have, I'm good with that. Okay? And this is why chopping the ingredients is important, because now I don't have to worry about them. I'm just turning them while doing other things. Once everything is moving according to plan, I just slide into the DMs of the pan. Yes. Okay, next thing, tomatoes. There we go. With all the juice, slide in there. Okay. The next and important thing you need to actually do, add some salt, because it helps you cook faster. I don't know, for some reason it just does. It blends faster and cooks faster. I don't know. I've seen that ever since I was a kid, so. Yeah, when I was cooking when I was 9. Actually 5. I am lying, just in case you're not getting the point, but I've been cooking so long, I need a CV. All this work, yeah. But also my love for cooking just came out of that, because if my mom didn't teach me how to cook when I was young, I probably would have hated being in the kitchen and just enjoying a meal being prepared, watching the food cook from scratch. Okay, so we have a big bone here. Ooh. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to use this. Remember, this is our last thing that we're cooking. Not the beans, the one that I'm cutting. And then it doesn't take that long, because anything from here doesn't cook too long on the pan. Which makes me understand why a lot of Westerners love medium rare stuff, because their meat is soft and it cooks in less time. Okay, so this is cooked, it's done. What you're going to do next is you're going to turn the beans. This is literally how we do it. A lot of people know this method. Especially if you don't want them to mash. Like if whatever you have cooked is delicate and you don't want it to keep mashing up, you turn it in the pot that you fried, let it boil, and then turn it back. Sometimes we even just turn the mix, the fried mix, just there. Yeah, so I'm going to let this simmer here for a while, and then I'm going to put it back in the other pan, because to save time and space in pans life matter. Okay, so and slight salt. Okay, sometimes I just crave this plain fried, normal frying from home, and lately I have felt that way, because it's not too complicated. The spices don't get in there to mess up the taste, and it just reminds me of home. So yeah. Okay, so with that done, let's move on to other important stuff. Agendas for the day, which leaves us with only one. Okay. Alternatively, I'm feeling like my chicken is a lot and it won't be fitting in this small pan, so I'm just going to take this off, wash it, but not going to use it. Change another pan. Change of plans, something came up. Get a bigger one. We're going to be moving that over there to the top end, and we're going to start with our chicken because we can't wait. Time is not waiting for anybody. Why should we wait? Compromise. Compromise for what? Compromise for who? Have you guys heard that? It's in some song. Some lady's going wild over compromise. She's like, what do you mean? What do you mean compromise? Compromise for what? Compromise for who? She says, I have found I think she says something like, I have found the love of my life and you expect me to compromise? Damn, lady. Those words are a chokehold. Okay, so as our pan is drying up, taking her sweet time, but she's moving. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, for anybody that is new to this channel, I'm always doing live stream cooking every single evening, and if that is something that actually interests you, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Alex Sunday says hi. Shout out to you, Alex. We have Pamela Quezo said hi. Hi Pamela, shout out to you. We have Jacqueline Whitmore said hi. Hi Jacqueline, shout out to you. John Camley said hi there. Hi, shout out to you. So like I was saying, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. We are always doing live stream cooking every single evening. I do live stream workouts at the gym every single day. I do live dance fitness every single Saturday. Sometimes I make step dance with dancing like last Saturday. And if any of those three is something that actually interests you, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to grow my channel, and I appreciate each and every person that always comes out to check out what I'm cooking for today, or what am I doing at the gym today, you know, stuff like that. So I really appreciate you. Okay, so keep it locked. We're waiting for the pan to actually heat up. I think it's done now. Let's go see. Yep, guys. Thumbs up means yes. So the next thing is the oil. You just try not to be past generous with the oil, but add some. Okay. Also be careful because you're about to be roasted, literally. Okay. Right. Once the oil has heated up, we're just going to start adding our chicken because when it gets too hot, it's good. If it goes past that, it's going to start burning and throwing tantrums. I don't want the drama. I'm not looking for it. Okay, so while that is doing its thing, we're going to be just washing every single thing that we have used because it reduces the traffic. Once you're done cooking, you're so exhausted, you don't want to talk to anybody when you're done eating, and then you still have dishes looking at you like, do we know each other? Do you not know me? Like, okay, so just clean them up now, okay? This is your time. So that's what I always do. I just pick them up while something is cooking and I have a break like this. Okay? It saves you a lot of time and energy once you're done. A lot of time and energy. I'm very, very heavy on the energy because nobody wants to talk to you once you eat and like people are just looking at you like, yo, I am tired. They're telling you they also want to go to sleep. Why you also want to go to sleep? And the dishes are not gonna wash themselves, so also I'm this person who hates seeing a mess, so this is another way for me to actually help myself, okay? I like order. Sometimes I feel like I have OCD, but since no doctor has ever said I have one, so I just feel like I have order. I am obsessed with seeing things in order. Like I don't like seeing things in the wrong place. It just stresses me out. Like you could be talking to me and you have the wrong thing in the wrong place, and I'm just calculating like, couldn't she just put this somewhere else like this, you know? Yeah, and by that time we're in your house, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, why? Why did you have to put it there? Yeah, so messes up with my concentration, so I'd rather have it cleaned up and set aside than having it walk around with nothing. So I can smell the aroma from the chicken, it's cooking, and I feel like it's almost close to being flipped. And I need to be careful not to let one side overload. Okay, so we're just going to flip the chicken real quick. We don't want it to actually burn. Oh no. Oh no, my Sheila, no. I love this, and I think the handle just came out. So now I have 155 with it. Actually, it hasn't. It's just giving the aroma. It hasn't really come. Also, we try to be checking on the beans because sometimes it just sticks on the bottom. Yes. So I'm just going to flip the chicken, the side that was cooking, come up, and the other side to put down. I hate when the last thing you're cooking starts to slow down. Like, what do you want? Do you want us to stay here the whole night? Is that it? Is that it? Because tell me why this pan is not heating up enough. Why? Why, sir? Why? In the meantime, our beans is doing amazing. I'm just going to check on a few things. I'll be back. Wait, what? Okay, so now that I've given it a bit of time, let's see what we have to find out. Oh my god, it's so feisty. Keeps running. Okay, so despite the fact that the chicken and beef and everything around here is soft, I still don't trust that it should be with blood or half cooked or anything. So I'm always just trying to ensure it is well cooked. Okay, like it comes brown both sides completely. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so most of it have turned brown. My goodness, does anybody else also have these kitchen knobs, wardrobes that are really trying to rip their thighs off, or it's just me? Okay, so both sides have turned brown. The next thing you're going to add is your onions because you need them to actually cook fast. And then literally how they follow next. Onions, red and green bell peppers, and then tomatoes. But now, if you're not dealing with bloody beef, screaming blood, okay? This looks very tasty by the way. So make sure your onions are walking in there. The chicken is well roasted. It's brown. It's giving a lot of tasty. So the thing about this pan is that it could be the hottest while you're cooking. It will burn you and whatever. And the minute you add one thing, it just goes down to zero. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. My heat is in high maximum, but like, it just seems like let's cool off, like you're in such a hurry, relax. Yes, I'm in a hurry, because you're slowing me down. Okay, so I see some of them have fought their way through turning golden. They actually don't have to all turn brown, as long as they have absorbed the oil and they're not raw, you're good to add this. You see, the more I add, the silent it becomes, which is crazy. I mean, to me, that's crazy. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, sir? So also, this is giving a lot of aroma. From the bell peppers to the onions to the chicken fried, it's giving a lot. Okay? And also, like, in as much as I hate that the pan just gets colder or sounds like it's getting colder when I add something, it also shows that it has retained enough heat that it's only cooking with that heat and it doesn't actually have to rely more on the source of the heat, because it has retained enough heat to actually cook on its own. So it's not overheating, but it's hot, which would be different if I was using a very thin and light pan. So when I look at it, I think like it's bad, but it's not bad. It's not entirely bad. Let me say that it's not entirely bad. Yeah, because 1 minute you think it's not cooking, the next minute you look, some onions have turned brown, the bell peppers have cooked up. Yeah, so it's not bad. So the next thing we're gonna add is our tomato, obviously, because it's the last thing standing. Yo, can you imagine? We made it to the end of the journey. Can you imagine? Yeah. So like I said, always. Drum roll, please add some salt. It's not a drum roll moment, but please add some salt, okay? Once you add tomatoes, just add some salt. Especially if you have chopped your tomatoes with your knife. They are chunky, they are big. Yes. Add some salt and then see what happens. They melt up very fast and smoothly. So today I'm trying to just feel the taste of chicken as it is. I'm not gonna add any hot and sweet sauce. I'm not gonna add any mustard, nothing. I'm just gonna add some black pepper and that's gonna be it because I'm really craving that normal taste of food. So that's what I'm gonna go for. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna add here is just black pepper. Also, I'm not gonna add some water because who needs soup? Not me. I mean, I already have some in my beans, so why would I add some more? Okay, so then I'm gonna pick my hottest version, which is the one I came from Kenya with, and yeah, I'm not trying to go light. Okay, this is what we add. This would have slapped so hard with some kales and some ugali. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm still trying to find like white corn, white maize flour here. And when I do, we're gonna be having some ugali mayai, guys. A lot. A lot. And some ugali nyama and sukuma wiki. Yeah, guys. A lot. Okay, so for now, let's stick to the rice, let's stick to the beans, to the chapatis, but I'm really craving that flour, so I'm going to try and find it online anywhere if they have it. I doubt they do, but I know they can't miss it either, so I'm just gonna try and find it. Okay, so in as far as our chicken is concerned, we are done here. Salt is a big part, but I'm also relying on other sources of salt from the chapati, from the beans, and you don't want to overpower one side with salt. So I'm gonna cover it for 2 seconds. Really tasty, really. So some days I just want some normal meals, some plain, simple, basic cooked meals. And since I'm the chef in this house, I'm in control of that. So yes, you see those meals where you say like how your mom used to make them, like yeah, that. Sometimes I really just crave that, and that's why I stopped adding some extra sauces, like you know how they're cooked in restaurants and stuff like this. Yes, so sometimes I crave those normal, basic, how your mom used to make it kind of meals. So yeah, somebody sent me some roses. Hello from Portugal. Hi, Manuel Oliveira. Hi Manuel, shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. Eric said hi. Hi Eric, shout out to you. Ayanda Gumede said hi. Hi Ayanda, shout out to you. Wedding Ideas TV said hi. Hi there, shout out to you. John Comley, I think I said hi there. So yeah guys, in the next less than 5 minutes, sound like Trump, but in the next less than 5 minutes we are serving the meal, and stick around to see the final presentation of the meal. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Always keep it locked here. So our heat officially goes off. We take our plates. I tried to look for some these aesthetics presentable plates when we went for some shopping, and I couldn't find them. I just saw some things that resembled Luminac, the plain white plates, and well, they're not what I'm looking for, so they're too plain. They're not giving me anything. They're just saying, hey, you can use me for serving. It's fine. It's okay. No, I want more. Okay, I want more. I'm sorry. I want more. So guys, I should have done this, but let me go for drum roll, please. Let me go watch chapo. And then come do the presentation with it. Because why not? How am I doing presentation without my chapo? You know, after he left me, when he went to the game, I was passing out there on sleep. You see my poor cat. Congratulations doesn't fit it. Yes, so we have our chapati over here. Ready? Ready? Let's go! Okay, so these are going to be topping the chops. They're thick, tasty, not too runny. That's what we're looking for. Because if they have too much soup, then it's too much drama. Okay? Next thing is our chicken, our chiquititas. We're not going to be serving the bowl department because it's not giving what you guys are looking to see. So this is a very simple meal, okay? Boiled beans, fried with tomatoes and onions. I didn't add anything, I just added salt, okay? Chapatis have some carrot in them, salt, carrots. You can add some spice like cinnamon if you like, because cinnamon goes so well with pastries. Yes, but mine has salt, carrots, some oil, basically when you're molding it, and then we have our chicken over here, guys. Yeah, nothing extra. Tomatoes, onions, red bell peppers, some black pepper, salt. Done, literally done. And this is what we get from that. It has a very, very tasty something that reminds you of, imagine how your grandma would cook before they had spices. I know, like, well, there were spices at some point, but like, from my village, my grandma didn't have any spices, okay? So yeah, so it was always tomatoes, onions, and that. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is our dinner. Is it something that you try? It's definitely something you can't find in a restaurant, not where you are at, but in another country you might. So yes, this is us. This is what we're gonna have for dinner. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always tuning in to us, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're really trying to grow our channel. Hope to see you again every single time we go live. Wait. Okay, so my husband is starting to act up like some spoiled kid. Okay, so thank you for watching. Spoiled husband. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again tomorrow and every other day. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your morning if your time is morning where you're at. But for us, this is dinner. Bye.